Hey everybody, welcome back to the vlog. Well, we're gonna start doing some more Roy DeMeo's stories. I don't really like telling Roy DeMeo stories, but there's a lot of people that want to hear Roy DeMeo stories. And since I knew him for a year between the years 1973 and 1974, and I did a bunch of thieving with him, with Joey Bikini, I came to know the guy pretty well, even though we hated each other, and we're going to get into that a little bit more. So, what was Roy DeMeo truly like? I get so many questions, comments. What was he like? What kind of cologne did he wear? Was he a smoker? How tall was he? How fat was he? What was his favorite color? That's what one of the last ones were. And I started thinking about that, and I always remembered him in a white button-down dress shirt and black pants, like a uniform. And the more I think about it, all those mob guys, and I know now they were mob guys because they were coming in at a shop, Joey Bikini's phony body shop in South Jamaica. They all wore the same. In fact, the old guys wore the hat, the fedora hat, and cigar. And of course, they all drove the same car, black Lincoln Town cars. That's what they drove. That's what they drove. So I did a video 2 years ago. Well, let me back up. So everybody knows about the black Lincoln that I took from Roy DeMeo and Joey Bikini in South Jamaica, Queens, drove it to the 59th Street Bridge, threw it in the river. July 18th of last year, we didn't recover the car, we found the car, positively identified it by its steering wheel, dashboard. It was right where I said it would be 50 years later. That was an incredible story. It's still an ongoing story. So, but, so 2 days after I threw that car in the river, Joey and Roy tried to get me to do the same thing with a 72 Ford LTD. It was a rent-a-car. How did I know? Because it had the letter Z in the plate, indicating it was a rent-a-car. So I didn't do it. I refused to do it. Joey told me, okay, you don't have to touch it. Take him, or at the mail, to your favorite spot, show him how to do it, put it in, and told Roy, give $500 back. $500 just for standing there. So I did. And this is that video some 2 years ago. I should do it like that. 2 years ago. So we go to the East River with professional dive teams, Adam Brown Adventures, and Exploring with Nug. We go there and we're searching for the car. Meanwhile, I know where the car is, but no one's listening to me. They're doing their scanning. They're doing their thing. So I just said, they couldn't find anything at the point of where we threw the car in, which was like 300 feet south of the 59th Street Bridge, Queenside. So I threw a bunch of cars in the river, but they all sank right away. I would crack the doors, roll down the windows, throw cars in, and boom, they would sink. So that's an important point. So we scanned the area, which is this area right here. This is like some of this is the real picture right here. So the cars would come in and we would throw them off there, and then they would just sink. That's how that went. But the night I threw the Lincoln in, I was scared. I smelled dead body. I was scared. I forgot to turn the headlights out. I forgot to roll down the windows, and I forgot to crack the doors. So that car sailed. That's why I knew where that car was. No other car I ever put in that river went that far. So I'm getting off topic now. So people started asking me about Roy DeMeo, and I'm going to do another video after this about my personal relationship with him and why he hated me so much and why he wanted to even kill me. I believe now, looking back 50 years now, looking back now, everything that I learned about the guy. I didn't even know what the guy turned into, to be perfectly honest with everybody. So in that video, it was a pretty funny video. You got to go back and look at it. So I go, so I take him down to the place. It was raining. It was muddy. It didn't look like this. How do I get this thing on? Okay, so now it looks like this, all concrete, all concrete. Back then it was all mud and shit. Something was all muddy. And I explained to him, man, you got to get this car up to speed, because if you don't, when you get to the end of it, it will hang up. You got to really got to put it in gear, get in between the door jam and push the thing in. So the deal was, I don't touch that car. I told that, as long as I don't have to touch that car, I'm not touching that car. I'll send him, I'll do him. I got my $500 and so on. So in that video, I described what Roy was wearing. And it was this right here. That's Roy over here. And he's at a trunk. And it's of a black car. And it's a Lincoln. Was that the freaking car? Because if you go back 2 years ago, you're going to see what he's dressed in. He's dressed in a white button-down dress shirt, black pants. That was exactly what I described he was wearing back in 1974. Exactly. You know, and you know, if you guys look up Roy DeMeo's photographs, you're going to see that's clearly a Lincoln Town Car. I don't know what this guy was. This is surveillance from, you know, I don't know what year it is, but that's exactly what he was wearing when I did the video 2 years ago, before I even saw that video. See how when you tell the truth, how everything falls into place. So I thought that was very, very interesting, because when Roy was pushing the car, I was like the referee. Okay, so this is a pretty funny thing. So that's Roy pushing the back of the 72 LTD. That's me going, go, go. What does it say? What the fuck? Go, go, go. And you see he's dressed in a white shirt here. This is just a graphic, right? So I'm telling him, push it. But his Italian shoes must have been $1,000 shoes. Who you know, he always wore the same shit. That's what he wore. That's what that guy wore. Those fancy, those dress shirts that go over the belt line so he can conceal his little 38 that he used to always carry. So he's pushing it, and I'm going faster, faster. And I warned him. Now I followed him down in my car, and I warned him, if that car doesn't have enough speed when it hits the end of the runway, like it'll get hung up at the edge of the dock area, whatever that was there. Okay, and of course, when it's wet and muddy, that gives the car more resistance. It's not going to roll as quickly and as fast as if it was on hard dirt. All you got to do is put it in gear and run with it and give it enough boom. But he wasn't getting enough speed because it was rainy. It was the mud. So anyway, I'm going fast, It's gonna get stuck moving. I don't know what the hell he had in that car, but I know it's still there. And I'm going to talk about that a little. So okay, so I'm yelling at him, and he's dressed in this. He's dressed. That's exactly what he's dressed in. And I'm looking at this picture, and that's a Lincoln Town Car, and that's black. Was that the fucking car? What is that? What is this, the freaking car that we found last July? I don't know, but it's like fucking mind blowing. So I'm telling him faster, and he's screaming at me, help me, I'm not touching that fucking car. Push it faster. And he does, and he's getting closer and closer to the edge. And just before the edge, he slips, he falls on, and you know what? And he used to always tell me about the shirt, because I used to say, is that the same shirt you always wear? No, I got that shirt. He told me was $125, and that back in today's, it would have like all kinds of designs on it. I forget what they call it, but you see how he's wearing it. He has a gun right there. If you could lift that up, get some app that would lift that up. He has a little Smith & Wesson 5-shot 38, snub nose 38. That's what he would have right here in a little holster he's got. So he's getting towards the end, and he slips because he's got those Italian fucking guy was. He slips face first. Boom! His right leg almost gets run over by the back wheel. And I'm going, push it, get up. Now it's still going because it's in gear. Fords, you could not like neutral drop it, like rev it up, pop it into gear, and then jump out. You couldn't do that. You had a neutral safety switch. So you had to put it in gear and then just keep pushing it. So he falls face first in the mud. He's covered in mud. I said, get up, push it. He gets back up, he gets up, and he runs and he pushes it, goes in, no problem. The doors were cracked, the windows were rolled down, and it sunk right away. So last July, when we went there, I had the dive team survey that whole area, and we got nothing. But then, of course, when we surveyed with all the electronic equipment, the area where I said to the divers, this is where the Lincoln is, they got no return because those devices work on a 3D thing, and the car was too flat to pick. I don't know. So then eventually I see this anomaly, and I said, "How long is that?" Because that's right where it is. And they have a graphic thing where they can figure out how big the object is that they're looking at. And he said 19 feet, which is how long Lincoln Town Car is. And we dove it. So anyway, he falls. Now, for all you people that know why he hated me, because you watched the old videos, and I'm going to start doing like retakes of the old ones just because there's a bunch of new subscribers and viewers that I'm going to do it. So, but anyway, he hated me. I'm going to get to that, why he hated me in the next video. So keep everybody up to speed, why he wanted to even kill me. Now, of course, in 1973, I didn't know who this guy was, and I didn't find out what he turned into until 3 years ago when I saw him on YouTube, and I went, "Oh shit!" And then I put it together. Then I found out that he was the one that murdered Joey Bikini, along with the two twins, and they were there too. Well, would I love to interview them about that? But I don't think that's ever going to happen. So I just thought that this was a very funny story, that I'm describing him, what he wore that day on that video that's 2 years ago. And that's what he was wearing. And now this picture shows up with him at the back of a trunk of a black Lincoln Town Car of that era. I don't know. Something to think about. And so anyway, and I'm going to start bringing you guys up to date more about this guy, Roy DeMail, because a lot of people want to hear about him. I never liked the guy. I was sort of forced to have to work with him as he was forced to work with me when we started stealing cars, me and Chris. So anyway, I'm going to put this video to bed now. Please like, subscribe, and we're only like 75 subscribers away from 5,000. And I think if I happen to get over that 5,000 hump, this channel will start to grow, and that'll give me more motivation to keep giving you the type of videos that nobody else can. I'll see you guys on the next one.